I was obsessed with the Smash Bros. Brawl Blue Gradient as a kid. I mean, it really just started when the game was announced. We had the Smash Bros. Brawl Dojo, which is where we would get a bunch of announcements for new characters, and I would stalk that page every day. I mean, I was roughly 4 or 5 years old when this was all going down, and I had very limited access to the internet or really how to use it. It was just the dojo where I found all of this stuff. It was just so exciting getting a brand new character announcement, and you know, half the time there were characters I didn't really know because, like I said, I was 4 or 5 and had limited video game experience. That sounds weird, but it's true. It just made everything feel official and uniform. So after the game was released, I immediately went into the mindset of, I can't wait for a new Smash Bros. Game. I was super into speculation and looking at fan-created rosters online, and this began right after Brawl was released and people were clamoring for a new game. And this Blue Gradient was at the center of it all, with the speculation and the rosters and just the fun. Because like I said, this screamed official Smash Bros, so when people were creating these rosters, they used the gradient to their advantage to create a more uniform look and make it look like these characters were actually a part of Smash Bros. Brawl itself. I mean, we didn't know what the character select screen of a 4th installment would look like, so people were modifying the existing Brawl select screen and photoshopping brand new characters into it. So I would scour the internet for hours looking for fan-created characters with this blue gradient in the background and just imagining them being actual playable characters in the game. It sounds a little weird, and looking back it definitely was, but being a little kid, it was just exciting to me, and I would print these characters out and just look at them. Some of my favorite creations were from this user Uzo, and it's very hard to find information on all of this stuff because it was nearly 20 years ago now. But I would take these fan-created characters right here and try my best to quote-unquote Photoshop them. Realistically, I was using Microsoft Paint into a Smash Bros. Brawl roster. Especially being a big fan of Melee and Dr. Mario, I wanted him in Brawl really bad, so I made my own fun out of just pretending this was official, and the gradient was at the center of it all. Because you can take any photo and make a roster with it, and people did. There's awesome, really cool fan rosters from around that time where people just threw a bunch of different PNGs into a character select screen, but using the gradient and using Brawl's format made it feel very real. And since an actual Smash 4 was many, many years away, this is how I would make my fun and just predict and just think about a brand new game. And when I would make my fan rosters in Microsoft Paint, I would exclusively look for fan-made characters with the blue gradient, and if they didn't have it, I wouldn't use it. It was a very strange obsession, but it was something that really turned into a core memory for me, and whenever I think of Smash Bros, I think of this gradient. And it meant more to me than the Brawl marketing team will ever know.